It's the unbox box fruit. I'm gonna become king of the unboxers! Hi guys, it's Walking Zero Dead here, king of the anime and manga unboxers. So I was chatting with Zoro Fanboy124, a fellow member of like the Green Clan on like Skype, and also on his like pros and cons video of like One Piece. And basically we've been chatting back and forth on my like personal cons on like One Piece, which he kind of like found very interesting because I think I came up with like a con that probably nobody else on the anybody in like the anime community has probably ever brought up, because it's my own personal opinion. So I mean, I am a fan of One Piece and I really enjoy it, but I'm not like a hater and I'm not like a total like One Piece fanboy. So unlike a lot of people, I can take a step back and give my honest, like unbiased opinion on One Piece without like hating on it or without like fanboying out to it. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about how I feel about some of the like the goals and dreams and like messages of One Piece, and how I feel some of them are like selfish and they carry like like dangerous like consequences to like the One Piece world for like characters that live in it. So first off, I'm going to talk about my opinions on Zoro's dream and why I think like the message to like the shonen demographic is like morally wrong, because Zoro's dream has become the world's greatest like swordsman basically. And if you think about it and you sort of like peel back the layer, what does it truly mean to be a swordsman? And to quote Rurouni Kenshin, the sword is a weapon and its techniques are used for killing. In my opinion, whatever way you want to look at it, Zoro wants to become the world's best killer with a sword or three swords. Now don't get me wrong, Zoro doesn't go out looking to kill people. He doesn't go out looking for a fight. But Zoro has killed characters before, and if he wants to become number one in the world, Zoro will have to kill again to achieve his his dream. So ask yourself, what kind of message is that to send to the shonen demographic of young kids and like teenagers? Follow your dream, never give up, and persevere and all that sort of stuff to become the world's best killer with a sword. I mean, it's a bit if you think about it, it's a bit fucked up of a dream. So my opinion on finding the One Piece, I'm going to break this down into two parts. I'm going to break it down into like greed first, and then I'm going to break it down second into selfish like consequences. So finding a hidden treasure in any sort of like pirate novel or like pirate movie is always like motivated by greed. 90% of all the pirates in One Piece, search for that treasure, for wealth, for riches, and for power. You've got to assume that like 99% of the pirates in the One Piece world believe that Roger's One Piece treasure is mountains of gold, diamonds, jewelry, pearls, rubies, money. So for the most part in One Piece, the dream of finding the One Piece, for the average pirate is completely and utterly motivated by greed. Though I will say this, Luffy doesn't want the One Piece, for greedy reasons or like wealth. He wants to become king of the pirates, to become the most free pirate on the sea, which moves me on to my next topic, which is selfish consequences. The One Piece world is like a fine balance of power between the world government, the pirates, and the revolutionaries. Now, no matter who becomes king of the pirates, you've got to assume that this balance of power is now going to shift towards the pirates, because they've got a king, they've got more structure, they've got more order, and this fine balance of power is now going to be broken. I mean, Oda himself in an interview, as well as what Whitebeard says when he dies, is when the One Piece is found, this will cause a war that's even bigger than the one that happens at the Marine base where Whitebeard dies. The world government, you've got to assume, isn't going to like there's a new king of the pirates, and they're going to want to take him out. They're not going to want the pirates to have like organisation and structure and a leader, basically. I mean, the king of the pirates is going to be their leader. The world government isn't going to want that. The Marines is not going to want that. And on top of this, you've got to assume that the revolutionaries are going to take their chance to take power and create their own government, because it's in their name, the revolutionaries. I mean, a revolution. You've got to assume that the Marines are going to try and take out the pirates because they're just going to think they're going to get too dangerous in the long run, and you've got to assume that the revolutionaries are going to then jump on the Marines and they're going to take their chance to get what they want. If this stuff does happen, in my opinion, the One Piece world is going to be thrown into absolute chaos and a world war, because you're going to have the three superpowers of the One Piece world all clashing and all wanting their powers. Marines, pirates, the innocent civilians of the One Piece world, they're going to get tangled up in this and they're going to get killed. Potentially, hundreds of thousands of innocent civilians could be killed, because you've only got to look at our own like history of humanity and like wars, and World War II, like tens of millions of casualties happened in that. And at the same time, the world government could fall in this war, and effectively this is going to completely throw, society into chaos, because they are structured to this world. I mean, the pirates realistically are, in a sense, the villains, and the revolutionaries, in a way, are terrorists. But, Zoro did tell me I did have a Marine's way of looking at things, but I just look at it in a more realistic sort of like way, and a more real world kind of way. There can only be, in my opinion, like one winner to this, struggle, because once the balance of power is broken, it can't go back to the way it is. It can't go back to this fine like mesh of the Marines, the revolutionaries, and the pirates. I mean, there can only be like one power, one superpower after this, and this is all a result of someone, finding the One Piece and becoming the Pirate King. So, the consequences of becoming the Pirate King and dreaming of finding the One Piece are absolutely crazy. So you've got to think of the people that are dreaming of doing this. Are they ever thinking of the consequences? I mean, I can pretty much assume that Luffy has never thought, if I become Pirate King, there's going to be a giant war, because it, from what we've been told and what it looks like is going to happen, we know that a war is going to happen. Okay, ask yourself this: Luffy wants to become king of the pirates, to be free, to be the most free pirate on the sea like Roger was. But with great power comes great responsibility. You've got to ask yourself, does Luffy really want that power and that responsibility that comes with becoming the Pirate King? Because he wants to be free, he doesn't want to be tied down. But being the Pirate King, you're going to be tied down to your leadership, to your political power. I believe Luffy will be a great king of the pirates, and he will use his status to help out the weak and the innocent. But personally, I think that's after this pirate marine war that's going to happen. And you've got to sort of like weigh the options. I mean, if Luffy is the person that finds One Piece, does that justify the war if he's going to help people after? Another question is, who's going to become the Pirate King first? Is it going to be Blackbeard, or is it going to become Luffy? Personally, I feel it's going to become Blackbeard. I think he'll become the Pirate King first, and he'll start all this chaos. And I think Blackbeard generally is a greedy kind of like character, and I think Oda he'll write Blackbeard to become a king of the pirates, because I don't think he'll want Luffy to start this war. I don't think he wants to put like a black mark on his personality and give his character like a bit of a black eye, you know what I mean, in like his morals and stuff. So I think Luffy will defeat Blackbeard to become king of the pirates afterwards, and that's when Luffy will become a really great pirate king. But also at the same time, in this whole like war that I can pretty much see coming, I think he'll have to face Mr. Lava, who killed his brother, and to get his revenge, to sort of like end the war. But I think he'll fight Blackbeard first, then he'll fight that motherfucker that killed Ace. But these are just my personal feelings on One Piece, and what I feel about the pirates finding One Piece, and how I personally think that in the long run, if you look at it, is kind of selfish. Their motives are kind of selfish because of the consequences to everyone in the entire One Piece world. Do these characters truly think about the whole grand scheme of things? And personally, I don't think they do, because they're pirates, and they rape, they pillage, they plunder, they steal, they do whatever the fuck they want. They don't think about other people. They only think about their own crews. So guys, I would absolutely love some comments from you guys, and your thoughts on my opinions on the messages in One Piece, and my opinions on like the dreams and the goals of One Piece, and how I feel they're kind of like a little bit greedy and a little bit selfish in a sense. And because I'm sure there's going to be a ton of One Piece fans out there that are going to want to defend One Piece to the absolute grave. And I really would love to have some intelligent conversation with some hardcore One Piece fans. Don't troll me, don't be a dick. I mean, this is just my opinion, it's my unbiased opinion. Some video responses would be awesome as well. I'm sure Zoro fanboy is going to be itching to make a video response to me from talking to him. But yeah, if you like this video, please go check out some of my anime unboxings and anime reviews and manga reviews, and subscribe if you like it, and give us the old thumbs up for One Piece. One Piece for the win, guys. Yes.